Behold the wizard. Beware his powers. Unspeakable powers. Here's the wizard. The mystical wizard.
Greetings, travelers, whiz kids, and word players. It is another Wednesday, which means it is Wow Wednesday once again, and I am joined by the Gremlin King himself, Samurai Snowman.
Hello, my friends. How are you guys? Hello, Jessica. Nice to see you again, my friend.
Yo.
And down there, Jesker James.
Yo, good to see you, Snowman. Good to see you, Wizard. My sketchbook. Virginity power?
Virginity power.
I can't speak for these other two, but...
No,
that
Snowman regularly...
I've fornicated once or twice.
Ew, gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Hey, sketchbook, you know, it's you gotta be hyped, you know. It's Wow Wednesday. It's the greatest night of the week, you know. But
Ooh, I can't wait to dive into tonight's topics. Oh my!
yeah, I know
goodness.
you were excited earlier in the chat. Now I'm wondering what you got. But let's, you know, say hello to Zombie Boy, you know, Grumpy, you know, Summer Swan, and my sketchbook.
Nice,
and,
hello, friends.
Snowman, how was your week?
It's a lot of working and drawing as usual, my friend.
Yeah, you were sharing some of the art. Your hands were looking really good, better than my hands look. My hands were always bad.
Their hands are a bitch, but it's like almost with anything with art or anything with life in general. Once it clicks, it rolls downhill, and then you start to get like way fucking better at it. So it's been a while. It's been taking forever, but my hands are starting to get okay now.
Yeah, it's I know with mine, when I finally just give up is when I break it down to a simple, you know, square, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna draw a circle for the joint, we're gonna draw a line, and then circle for the knuckle, and circle for the fingertip, and we're gonna do this like really, you know, we're gonna take it slow. We're not gonna try to like rush it, because while I practiced Kirby's art, Kirby's hands were always good, but they were also always kind of square. Yeah, and when I do them, they look too rectangular, too square. It's like, nah, it doesn't look right, you know. So
yeah, I try to definitely incorporate the squareness into the hands a little bit from Kirby.
And then like Bruce Timm's hands too is also very square, and so it's like
it's easier to draw them that way. If you can also try to break them into cylinders or like rectangles.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking what would be the fucking 3D term for a rectangle? Got him. We'll be right back.
I used to know it. I think it is just a
prism,
a prism, or just a long rectangle, like a elongated cube. Like a cube is a
cube. They're all parallel. It's all squares is a cube.
Yeah. So let's say 3D rectangle.
It's probably fucking simple as shit.
A cuboid. It's a cuboid. It's a rectangular prism or a cuboid.
Why does that sound so funny?
Yeah, it's a cuboid. So that's why we probably just call it a rectangle.
You're a cute boy. I'm a cute boy.
Yeah. It's just like Jesker, how was your week?
It's been pretty good, man. It's been, you know, the weather's been very, very wintry around here, and
yeah, likewise.
Friday we are expected to get the worst of it. So on the one hand, I'd be happy because I probably would get out of work, but on the other hand, that's payday and I want my check.
Yeah,
mine's direct deposit.
Yeah, mine I get a check too. I don't get direct deposit.
Idiots.
But anyway, my week, I forgot to pull this up. I was kind of slacking today on my show prep, but you know, I did some art stuff as I am known to do, right? I'll get the whole timeline set up here. There was this thing going around on Twitter, this like artist, what's that called? Like a trend, where people would be like, hey, you know, like draw someone doing this, right? So it was, you know, draw your OC or your fave in this like stock photo or whatever, right? And so you have people like, you know, who've quote tweeted it and they've, you know, they did that, right? And so I was like, well, one of the accounts I follow, Immortal Thor Lawyer, he's a Thor fan account. I saw his like post that he was like, how come no one's done Thor yet? And then I'm like, well, you're like, yeah, I mean, like I haven't seen no one, you know, do no Thor, but it's like, you know, like I'm not, you know, I'm quite inclined to do such a thing. I'm trying to find it, my original post about it. Not that far. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, so he had so who's gonna draw Thor like this, you know? And then I'm like, and then I saw that in the night. I'm like, I got first thing tomorrow is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna draw Thor like this because I think I can do it, right? And so,
Oh yeah.
You know, so then this is what was the result of that. It took me all day, not really all day, but like a good chunk of the day, which is normally I like give up or like, you know, or I take it in bits where like I'll do pencils, inks, and then I'm do coloring another day. And so this one I was like, I literally sat there. I'm like, got nothing to do today. I'm just going to sit here and do it. Right. And so, this was a result and I'm pretty proud of it. Completely digital.
Looks nice.
You know, and, you know, had the idea to put the, hammer in his hand instead of the remote, which someone had also pointed that out in the original Immortal Thor Lawyers thing. And so as you can see here, this tweet has 1,600 views currently, 32 likes, because this tweet was retweeted by Immortal Thor Lawyer, who has 8,000 followers.
I just need one of those guys to retweet my shit.
Yeah, so that was
and get like
very exciting
likes.
to see that. And you know, that video of the time lapse will be available on the channel and you can watch me draw it. I have it ready to go. However, it will not be uploaded until we hit 100 subscribers. And right now we are at 97. So if you are watching this either live or in the later hours, please subscribe and get me to 100 subscribers, because you will not only unlock more drawing videos, you will unlock more streams more often. You will unlock gaming streams. You will unlock a Thursday monthly show where either me and Cynic or everyone, as I offered last time, will sit and we'll talk Thor. And my movie reviews. As many people who know me know, I have not seen many movies. I am completely blind to many of your favorites. And if you're mad about that fact, then subscribe. And I will take your suggestions on movies to watch, and I will watch your favorites for the first time.
People,
but
it's 3 subscribers. Come on.
Yeah.
We can hit this tonight.
Like, you know, I don't want to name names of people who may or may not be allowed back on the channel, but, you know, I remember like a certain church hosting person was at like 30 when I was at 60, and then just in a week shot up to like 150. And that, I'm not going to say that made me bitter and angry and making not allowed on stream ever, but
I'll say it for you if you want me to.
Who, Ruby King?
Well, we didn't want to name names. Come on. You know.
Check him out at 7 o'clock. Channel 5, whatever.
You're just, Snowman hit his head at some point during the week and believes he's on a a local news affiliate.
Nah, I'm stealing it from this comedian Adam Ray. He does Dr. Phil live. That shit is so funny. We'll be right back.
But anyway, so please help us get to subscribers. Share the stream around. Anyone who is an Xbox fan, Xbox hater, PlayStation fan, PlayStation hater, whatever, they're gonna want to hear it. And as always, pinned to the top of the chat is an Ask Us Anything that we will read at the end of the show. I have to specify because someone was mad that he didn't know when we read the questions. So anyway, yeah. So let's start this here with the first of the big three gaming news, with Xbox throwing in the towel, giving up, abandoning their sad little masquerade, as they, according to an insider, will bring all of their big games to PS5.
Whoa.
Damn.
2025 could be the year Microsoft goes all in on its multi-platform strategy, a video game analyst has said. This is from GameSpot. According to veteran video game industry analyst, 2025 could be the year that Microsoft goes all in, including PlayStation 5. Microsoft, of course, has already begun to launch some games on rival platforms. But Serkan Toto of Canton Games believes Microsoft will lean further into that this year. Microsoft may opt to do this for a variety of reasons, including helping to pay for its massive buyout of Activision Blizzard and the huge lead of PlayStation in the market. 2025 will be the year they go all in. $69 billion Activision Blizzard deal, rising costs across the board, the power of forever titles, the huge lead of Sony, and the other factors will likely leave Microsoft no choice but to bring all their big games to PS5 early, including blockbusters such as Gears of War, E-Day, or Perfect Dark.
I couldn't never get into Gears of War.
So, this is gonna sound weird coming from me because I've had this talk on other channels, and I don't think I've had it here yet. But I have never purchased a Microsoft console with my own money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I owned a 360 for a period of time, but that was given to me. I did not. I have never really been an Xbox guy, but I've always bought PlayStation and I've bought Nintendo. That's always been my consoles of choice. And I would say, honestly, I'm more of a PlayStation guy than I am a Nintendo guy. But I respect what Microsoft has done with the Xbox brand, even going back to the original system, which, let's be honest here. Yeah, hey, Summer Swan. Love you too. But I respect what they've done because let's be honest, going back to the PS2, GameCube, and original Xbox era, the most powerful system out of those three was the Xbox. And I think the Xbox also had like the best online ecosystem, even though online gaming wasn't really
that's what like Xbox was known for, really, was it's especially when the time the 360 rolled around. Yeah,
even though online gaming hadn't really taken off like it would in the next console generation, where let's keep it real, Xbox 360 clobbered PlayStation 3. Now
I love the 360.
I still have my 360.
We was doing its own thing, and it was making gangbusters too. But that was Nintendo going their own route at that point.
Nintendo always is Switzerland in all these console wars. It is they always feud with them. Once they beat Sega, right? They were like, all right.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think they were still with the N64 and with the GameCube. I think they were still trying to compete with Sony, but I would say, like, starting with the Wii, that's where the divergence took place.
Mm-hmm.
And then it really, when it came to power and specs and graphics and everything, at that point, it really came down between Sony and Xbox.
Hello, Ruby
Now,
King. You were not mentioned previously. Don't worry about it.
now we switch over to the next console generation, which is PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And kind of the opposite happens, where the PS4 really just completely dominates over the Xbox One. And we all know why. There was that whole thing about, oh, it's only going to be a digital only console, and then Sony came out with the the stage show, and they showed like how how you play games on PlayStation 4, and they just like showed the disc or whatever, and like you just put it in the console, and it was Sony just from the very beginning, like they just dominated the last console generation. Now here we are with this new console generation. This new console generation has been weird. I think it was premature. I don't think it was really needed, especially for Sony, because I think PS4 at the time the PS5 came out still had a good 3 years of life left.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been a weird console generation.
They've proven that by not taking the PS4 out back and shooting it yet. Like,
yep.
Like even now, I had it to talk about, but the new WWE game was announced, and it's still going to be on PlayStation 4, which holds back those games immensely.
Yeah, it's
fucking pores, ruining it for everybody.
No, I mean, let's be real here. Like, there was no reason to move on from the PlayStation 4. Like, it was just that much of a juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been a weird console generation. Like, of course, it started with COVID, and it's just been very weird. Now, here's the thing. Even though the PlayStation 5 has been beating the Xbox Series X and Series S, if I'm being completely honest here, and again, this is coming from a guy that's never bought an Xbox system, has been playing PlayStation for most of my life. I honestly think this generation, I think Microsoft has been the more consumer-friendly system. I think when you
backwards compatibility is really
I mean that's amazing. Like the vast majority of the library going back to the original Xbox through the 360, the Xbox One, you can play on the Xbox Series X.
Mm-hmm.
Like the backwards compatibility is insane. I don't see Sony doing that going back to the PlayStation 1. I don't see that.
That'd be nice if Xbox had any fucking games you wanted to play.
Well, I mean, you got to think about all the third-party games.
I don't want to.
Like that. That's not. That's what you're missing.
I'm not doing all that.
Any third-party game that came out on the Xbox, the original Xbox 360 or Xbox One, you can play on your Xbox Series X. It's not just Xbox first-party games. Like that's the thing. Like if I want to play Final Fantasy 13 that came out on the 360, I can go get Final Fantasy 13 and I can play it on the Xbox Series X.
I had that game on the 360.
Yeah.
As well.
If I want to go and get, I don't know, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, it was on the 360. I can play it on the Xbox Series X. It's like that is such a cool feature. And then you also have to consider with the Series S, it's digital only, but it is a current gen system. You can play any of the current gen games on that system for $300.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you have PlayStation coming out with this PS5 Pro for $700, and it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
And the upgrades are so minuscule. It's like, this is a joke.
Yeah. Like a high-end PC can get the same stuff out of it, and Sony is releasing their games on a PC anyway.
So to me, I honestly have considered, because I haven't bought either one of the new systems yet, but I have honestly considered buying an Xbox system this generation over a PlayStation system just because of their consumer-friendly policy this generation.
Yeah.
And
hello, Preston.
I want to reward that. I want to show my gratitude for that. I think that's cool. But I don't know, man. Like maybe what happened last generation with the PS4 and the Xbox One was just so terrible for Microsoft that they can never come back from it.
Well,
And maybe that's
yeah,
maybe really
there's
it
the
was.
there's the console side of it, but then there's like the games themselves underperforming. Like they put a lot, like they bought all these studios and then wanted to make their like upcoming like flagship title or upcoming just random titles, their flagship things that were gonna, so like they got like that Left 4 Dead thing that failed miserably, right? The vampire one, the Redfall or whatever, right? That was notoriously awful.
They tried with
they
Titanfall as well, but that went to PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that was Titanfall was a while ago, but they need more Titanfall. They just keep Titanfall 2 is considered the best first person shooter still to this day. And you can get it in like Dollar Trees if you find it.
It's on the PlayStation Store as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like it's I think it's not a Microsoft. I think it's a Microsoft thing now, but it wasn't then. 'Cause I think they bought one of the I don't know, but no, so Microsoft just tried to have these big games, and then when they finally got some of them, they threw in the towel too soon, right? Like the Indiana Jones game is reviewing pretty well, but it's like it's over because they already announced it's coming to PlayStation.
Oh fuck yeah, dude, idiots.
The Wolfenstein games were really good for Microsoft, but then they did Wolfenstein Youngblood, which was terrible, and that was like multiplayer live service, like action spin-off with the young girls, funny, quirky, all that stuff where you're like, ow, what is this? Like this wasn't, and like all the cool stuff that you wanted to do with BJ happened off screen in the past, and there's no word on whether or not we're going to go back to that because then Machine Games made Indiana Jones. So you're like, all right, what we had was still like Doom, and Doom is still good, but Doom is also just Doom. And people, as those games got bigger and bigger, people don't want to commit to jumping onto them. And Bethesda having Starfield, right? Bethesda releasing Starfield and it underperforming, it not being what people wanted. And I was ready to buy an Xbox if Starfield was going to be good, and it wasn't. So it's like, all right, and I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I was hoping for the best and kind of just like ready for the worst for that one.
Yeah. And then now it's like they bought like Obsidian, so they get Outer Worlds, and then Outer Worlds 2 gets kind of delayed, and then Outer Worlds 2 is coming out for PlayStation. So it was like, what? It's, so they gave up, the fans gave up. They're, and it really like, it just keeps going. Like we were talking about Secret Level before, and it came out and it had hit or miss episodes depending on the thing, but there was came out from Collider that a Master Chief and Doomslayer crossover episode was pitched for Secret Level. Microsoft said nah. Like
Doomslayer.
Yeah, nah. Doomslayer and Master Chief just having a silent, animated, bloodied like shoot fest for like aliens and demons all at once or something.
I'm down for that. It just kind of pisses me off to call him the Doomslayer. Isn't he a space marine?
Well, no, he's in the modern lore. He's the Doomslayer. That's the.
I hate it.
He was originally Doom Guy or the Doom Marine or whatever.
He was definitely something with a marine.
Yeah, I think it was Doom Marine, but then Doomslayer is what his current title is in the new games.
It's gay.
I don't think it's gay. Yeah, pretty good. Well, you haven't heard the the Moomer says Doom Guy. That was his like original like thing. But so have you heard like the audio tapes where they like have the like literal like Satan reading off the legend of the Doom Guy and how unbeatable he was and how they were scared of him?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yo, well, like, and that's where I think that's where they give him the name, where he goes like, "We called him the Doom Slayer." Like,
he made the devil piss his pants. Yeah.
So. But anyway, yeah. So Microsoft giving up, moving all their games to other consoles. I still haven't played Sea of Thieves yet. That's the only one. When the Indiana Jones game comes out, I want to play that. But I want you. They own Rare. Microsoft, give me what I want. Make Viva Pinata 3, damn it. I don't care if
Good
you
God, are you serious?
Viva Pinata was good, and there hasn't been a third one. We need a third one.
I thought you were gonna say a new Banjo Kazooie or something.
Yeah, we had that already. That happened.
Like
That's you got a lot of Banjo Kazooies. I want Viva Pinata. Viva Pinata was good. I will stream Viva Pinata after we hit 100.
I watch it. I've never played that actually.
I swear to God, Wizard, it becomes more apparent every single stream why you're a virgin. I swear to God.
Hey, leave me alone.
Viva Pinata was cool. I own both of those, and I still haven't beaten them because they're a lot. You got a lot to do with them, and also all of the pinata names are puns. So yeah. And then Sony, Sony, they beat the video game war, right? They won. It's over.
Well, now wait a minute. Hold up. The articles, the title of the article says, analyst says. This isn't official for Microsoft.
It's not
yet.
official. I'm saying that, this is what we know. And we definitely see it. Like, we see it. Microsoft is giving the... But in general, like, PlayStation games beat Microsoft games, and the Microsoft games that are good are coming to PlayStation anyway. So if you're a Sony pony, you're staying winning.
And it's weird. Again, like, I'm a Sony guy, but I don't feel right beating them this way. I really don't. It doesn't feel fair. When we beat them in the last console generation, that was fair. Like, they messed up big time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like they were not given a fair shake in this console generation because of what happened last time.
It's like you're like Virgil in DMC5, and you're just like, you got Dante, and you're just like, defeating you like this has no meaning.
Exactly.
Heal your wounds, Dante. Get strong, and then we'll settle the matter.
That's exactly what it is. And it's just it just feels dirty.
But no, Sony, like I said, they have won the gaming wars, and so they're moving on to Hollywood, getting on the ground floor of those video game adaptation things, as Sony's working on a Horizon Zero Dawn and Helldiver 2 movie.
Helldiver 2 movie? Not they're just gonna skip right to the sequel?
Well, yeah, Helldivers 2, yeah. Well, Horizon has the best, has half of a good story, that Horizon, because the pre-apocalypse, yeah.
Helldiver 2?
Helldivers is just that
what's that? Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers, yeah. Helldivers is just Starship Troopers.
Yeah, first of all, why? And then second of all, why 2? What happened to 1?
Well, like I said, like Helldivers
ago when I just said that.
Yeah, Helldivers 2 sold really well and it was really popular, but I don't know what Helldivers 1 was. It was 2015 is when Helldivers 1 came out, but it's like I don't feel like it made waves, and just everyone went with Helldivers 2. So, but
I love the first Helldivers. I haven't played 2 yet.
During its CES 2025 keynote, PlayStation Productions head president explained how Sony plans to keep expanding its IP after adaptations of The Last of Us, Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal, Uncharted. They announced that Sony Pictures is working on a fifth film adaptation of last year's hit Helldivers 2, while Columbia Pictures and PlayStation Productions are in early stages of developing a Horizon Zero Dawn movie. After an attempt of turning it into a Netflix series fell apart, the Horizon Zero Dawn movie will, like the game, tell the main character Aloy's origin story in a fallen futuristic world. All the information we have on this now. All right, money on the table. Will Aloy be black? There's
nah.
You know what? Given Hollywood's propensity to replace the gingers with black characters, you know what? I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I don't see a world where Aloy will be a redhead and white. Like they can be,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do black, you dye the hair, that's okay. But like, you know, I don't see a world where we get like actual Aloy on the game in the screen. You know,
For some
I don't-
reason, Hollywood hates gingers.
they refuse to. They always change it in some capacity, but and
There's
as
plenty of
we'll
reasons.
we'll see here, they also announced a Ghost of Tsushima anime will be releasing on 2027 on Crunchyroll. Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which will probably tell the lore of everything. And here's something for you, Jesker. It is directed by the person who did the Duel of Star Wars Visions.
Ah, all right. That's good. That's good stuff. That's good
That
stuff.
art's great. I'd rather see a fucking Bloodborne anime though. That would be terrific.
I mean, a Bloodborne anything. I don't give me a Bloodborne like fucking.
Give me a Bloodborne
God.
lunchbox and a thermos.
Give me a
damn
Bloodborne
it.
lunchbox. Give me a fucking Bloodborne the flamethrower. The kids love
Yeah.
this one.
The Super Soaker.
This like the T-shirt. Give me Bloodborne anything.
Give me the
But continuing,
T-shirt cannon. That's a Bloodborne T-shirt cannon that shoots out Bloodborne T-shirts.
yeah, like you know, and then yeah, but Sony's still not done because we've known about this already. But the Until Dawn movie, we finally got confirmation it'll be new story and new cast of characters, which is good. That's what I wanted.
I guess because, I mean, did Until Dawn? I mean, that just kind of came and went. It really didn't leave any kind of impact.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Until Dawn made crazy impact. Like it.
Wait a minute. What is Until Dawn? What am I?
Until Dawn is the movie choice driven game where the teenagers are in the cabin.
Okay. I'm thinking of a completely different game. I'm thinking of a completely different game. What was the game? It was a zombie game. People said it was a Walking Dead knockoff. Dude was on a motorcycle.
Days Gone.
Yeah,
Days
yeah,
Gone?
that's it.
No, it's
that's
a Last of Us kind of rip off.
Yeah. That's
I
what
like
I'm
that
thinking
game,
about.
though.
My bad.
No, that
Yeah,
Days
yeah.
Gone. Days Gone is good. We talked about that on the last stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Days Gone is good. It's criminally underrated. And
If you say
it's a better Last of Us 2 than Last of Us 2 was. There's even like theories online that Days Gone actually was a sequel to The Last of Us or a spin-off of something that got repackaged, because there's a lot of similar things with it. And there's even like people I think have found like assets from Last of Us 1 inside of it or something.
Really?
I believe so. But like very early on in development, like it was changed. It became its own thing, I think, pretty early. But you can definitely, like, if you like Last of Us but wanted something a bit more open, you know, Days Gone is good for that. But
Yeah, Until Dawn's the one with like the monsters and
the monsters, and you're in the cabin and you're the teenagers and you're playing like a horror movie type thing.
yeah, I remember that. That did have more impact. I was thinking about Days Gone. My bad.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. Like Until Dawn is, for this studio, is lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
Like it literally was just like it. None of the other games that the studio made reached anywhere close. Like they all reviewed terribly. They were shorter or, you know, more expensive or not. You know, it's just everything was just like nothing was coming together like Until Dawn did. And it was just like it was lightning in a bottle. Like they've never been able to capture it again. So that's why they remastered it. And remaster is one of those remasters that makes it kind of look worse. So it's like that sucks. Like, and it didn't need a remaster. Like it just needed a port. But they were like, let's change the lighting, and it's like, oh, you fucked it. You ruined it. You know. So.
no, that seems like a good plot to turn to a movie. Well, I mean, they're gonna change it, but I'm assuming the premise is gonna be similar.
Well,
right?
so we'll read here. This was during that same press conference. Peter Stormare will be the only actor that returns. And then it says, I have been lucky to be part of the Until Dawn since the original, incredible, super terrifying game. And that's why I'm so excited to be part of this film, because this whole thing is a love letter to horror and it completely honors the spirit of the game. The movie is going to be full of fresh characters and victims and a brand new story loaded with twists. So whether you're a longtime fan or discovering it for the first time, get ready for Until Dawn like you've never seen it before. Expanded on how the film will be adapted, insisting it honors the original Until Dawn despite being a fresh take on the premise. The original game followed 8 teenagers spending a spooky night in the woods, with players' choice determining who they lived or died. The key to
There you
successful
go.
adapting these games comes down to one thing: respecting the source material. Our close collaboration with PlayStation Productions gives us a filmmaker's advantage, working directly with the creators of the game. It's a careful balance of trying to identify and incorporate what the fans love, blah blah. David F. Sandberg, who is doing it, he did like I think Annabelle and like some of those, like he's a horror guy. Is a big fan of widely acclaimed game, took the essence of what makes the game great. Core premise: group of friends who encounter a variety of terrifying threats to tell a new story that is truly visceral and horrifying. So it'll be something that will be just the group of friends in a cabin or whatever, and they have to survive until dawn. So
yeah, so same premise, different cast.
Completely different story. I don't think we're gonna get Wendigos and all that stuff. I think we're gonna get a whole, not even in like the Blackwoods or Blackwood Pine or whatever it's called, the that area. It might be snowy. They got to keep the snow aesthetic. You got to keep that.
Well, okay, so what's the point?
Well, I think because if we look at it in two ways, of either Last of Us or I don't know what would be the opposite equivalent, but like do something that's like 1-to-1 of the thing so that other people can get into it, or we have this name and we want to work with that IP, but also I hope they at least reference the game in some way. But like, you have the movies and you have the movies inside of the universe that you can do stuff with, and you have that kind of thing. So I hope they reference it. But yeah, the other part was the Until Dawn game had Hollywood actors in it. So you couldn't retell that story because everything would be worse, because it would be different, right? It's already a movie as it is.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're just going to do Until Dawn and name only, you're gonna you're gonna polarize, like
Alienate.
Alienate. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. You're gonna alienate the people that like the game, and I don't know, man. Like that, it's just
It's not gonna pull any because Until Dawn is based off the video game, so it's not gonna pull any like new fans into the video game because it's gonna be completely different from it.
I just think it's kind of a silly move.
I think, well, if you think about it, you will always pull people into the video game because you're not telling the story of the video game, right? Like the video game is story based. Like it's not like something like Last of Us where you could be like, yeah, like you could re-experience the story, but also like you can play it where you're but Until Dawn at its core is a story game with choices. And while you can do different things, the best ending is the one where everyone lives and all that, and so, you'll always get, a different type of thing. But if you do like a Last of Us type adaptation of Until Dawn, you'd lose that impact for people who are going in and seeing the Wendigos. They won't see the Wendigos for the first time. They won't get that like reveal. They won't be able to build all that, right? They'll all that will be ruined. So I feel like you do a really good horror movie called Until Dawn based on the game by PlayStation, everything, everything's PlayStation, right? You get it in their heads, the teenagers and all that, whoever that watch this, they go home and they I have Until Dawn. It's on the PlayStation Plus collection. We download that and we play it, right? It's a whole new, it's a completely different story. And that's a whole new Until Dawn for them.
Does that not sound like a very confused approach to you?
I don't think so, right? Again, I'm trying to think of something that has done it before, where like it's an anthology, right? Like it's an anthology style story, and it's something that sits adjacent to the thing that doesn't override it.
I think I think what would be the best way to do this, if you wanted to tell an original story, is have it take place in the same universe, and you make references to the events of the game. In other words, the movie becomes kind of like a sequel to the game.
Yeah, there's that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this isn't going to be a reboot of the franchise. I would hope. My hope would be it would be like my original thing would I wanted to be after Until Dawn, but in the same area with new people, and it's Rami Malek comes back, as is hinted at, but like that would have been cool. But you can still like Josh's parents were movie makers, so you have already all that stuff in there you can work with, and and Peter Stormare is back, and his character was a guy from the original, so he can be in it as well, or he'll just be like a narrator or something, or something spooky representative of death or something like that. But there's that. Then I realized what does it, and it's Fallout. Fallout does it. Fallout doesn't tell the story of one of the Fallout games. It tells the story inside of that universe, right? And so if you've never watched Fallout, you're like, oh, you watch it for the first time. If you have watched Fallout, it's like, it's great Fallout story, and here's the thing I recognize, right? So
that's pretty much any superhero movie too. They never really tell any exactly the same stories from the comic books. So Marvel has been recently.
Let me ask you this though: what's going to be the connective thread if they're not going to do the Wendigos? Because the Wendigos could be the connective thread between the game and the movie. If they're not going to do the Wendigos, if they're going to do some other kind of creature, then there has to be something that connects those two threads.
I don't think they're doing a sequel. I think they're doing an anthology. I'd want them to do a sequel with the Wendigos in the cabin, like I described, but I think they're going to do an anthology.
Now, when you say anthology, in what way? Because
it'll be like same premise, right? Of the teenager surviving until dawn, right? And then dealing with the horrors of, whatever, and they got to fight off something or whatever, right? They got to survive it. And learning the lore and all that, right? But it'll be inside of the universe, but it'll be in a probably entirely different location, right? Like this could be in
well, that's not an anthology.
Yeah.
Well, it is if it's because it's telling a new story.
No.
But what I'm saying
an
is
anthology is a collection of different stories.
Yeah, and this is part 2 of the anthology. Like not something like a VHS or a
that's an anthology.
That's an anthology because it's all part of one thing. But you can also it's called an anthology story if it's something that takes place within the universe but is a different story. Like people wanted Last of Us 2 to be an anthology. I wanted Last of Us 2 to be an anthology. But no, a spin-off would be if it was a separate thing, right? Like it's
we'll be right back.
Hold up. I think we're getting confused on anthology here.
Anthology is
hold up. A good anthology is one that has some sort of connective tissue between the different stories in the anthology, whether that be theme, whether that be some kind of lore thread that's being played out there, or whether it's like, oh, these are all teaching very similar lessons. Something like a good anthology always has a connective tissue. And what I'm getting at here is I don't understand what the connective tissue is between this story for the film and the story for the game, because you may say, well, it's the premise of the teenagers surviving monsters until dawn, until the morning. And it's like, okay, but that's also the premise of how many horror movies?
Yeah, well, and that's why that's why they called it a love letter to horror, right? So, the creators,
the game was kind of generic anyway, too.
I'm looking for something that's unique about that game that can carry over to the film, and what's that unique thing that defines it? That's what I'm looking for.
So there could be the elements of the choice. There could be the totems. There could be kind of that stuff. They might do the Wendigos as well, and they could be in a complete different. Like I'm talking, like they could be in like the forests of like Washington or Oregon or something like that, or like the the Wendigo stuff is spread around, so you could do it like it's not snowy, right? Maybe it's fall time or something like that. Maybe it's
that's fine. If they use the Wendigos, that would be the connective thread I'm looking for.
Supermassive Games, the people that made Until Dawn, also made the Dark Pictures anthology, right? Which is a series of games where each game tells a different story. Which, to my knowledge, there's no connection. I
then
believe.
that's not a
Um,
good anthology.
but it
Because
is still an anthology.
it's an anthology, Wizard, but
Yeah.
is it a good anthology?
No, I'm just saying that's like that we're, but also these were the ones we were talking about where it's like the none of these hit. Like everyone is just like, this is just awful. Like this is just like none of these are none of them hit the same. They all kind of like tried too hard. They also tried to do like twists like Until Dawn had, where it's like, no, the real threat is this other thing or something, and everyone's like, these are just not too. And then they did The Quarry, which isn't part of the Dark Pictures anthology, but The Quarry
Wait, so are
tried
these
to.
movies these guys did?
These are games that
Oh,
the
games.
Until Dawn game people made. Like these were these were
Gotcha.
their games right after Until Dawn or whatever. Like Man and Madame was 2019, but I think it honestly took them, I think, that long to make this whole Dark Pictures anthology. And then they were like, and then they did The Quarry, which was tried to recapture the roots of Until Dawn by being like an interactive horror movie thing. And then it still just didn't. I think more people played it, but in general, it just didn't hit like Until Dawn did, right? So hopefully this movie will really capture what made Until Dawn good. And like I said, I wanted a sequel of some way, this show to be like a spin-off sequel thing. So I hope they figure out what they're doing and do it. I am glad though they're not retelling Until Dawn, because I don't think they would have done it properly. However, I mean, there has been precedent of them doing shot for shot remakes of their Sony properties, but but still they're not done because there is another video game movie coming out as a Shadow of the Colossus movie that has been on pen for a while.
Ooh, I remember when this was first brought up back in the day. Yeah.
They're still, and is this a PlayStation exclusive as well? Or is this
what, Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, is it a Sony game? Yeah, it's a Sony, published by
yes,
Sony Computer Entertainment.
believe,
yeah, okay.
I believe
so
it still is. I know when it came out originally, it was. I believe it still is.
Yeah. So still, they're continuing. They want the Shadow of the Colossus movie. Really, an insurmountable odd, just like the Colossi themselves. They've apparently been trying to make this movie for a long time.
Yep.
And they have revealed that it's still happening. 10 years. And now the possibility of making it finally opens up. Now,
God, please, yes, I want this. And you know what else? If this is successful, I want an Ico movie.
Never got to play Ico.
I haven't played
cool
either
shit,
of them.
though.
I'll be honest.
I've actually neither have I. I've never played Shadow of the Colossus either.
Now, question though, Jesker, if you've played this, is a movie retelling these things good, or should it be a show? Like one episode, one Colossi kind of deal.
You could do this in a movie.
You could do it in a show. I don't think the show would have a lot of longevity because the plot is rather simplistic.
Yeah, I think it would hit harder as a movie too.
I feel like if you would do this as a show, it's going to be a one and done season. No, I think you could do this as a movie. I think you can do this as a movie. Might need to be a longer than normal movie, like a 3-hour movie. But yeah, I think you could do this as a movie.
All right.
I think it would be fine as a 2.5 hour movie.
All right. I was just wondering because I only know that you like take down like a bunch of the Colossi,
but it's
or
super like emotional the way they do it. I've read a lot about like the story. And
yeah, I've
played out.
you feel terrible when you kill these giants.
It's just like ancient, peaceful deity beings, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this: the advantage of doing a movie is that you're going to have a bigger budget, and that's going to make the Colossi
scope.
The Colossi will look much more impressive.
Yeah, the scale
do
of
a
it
movie.
would be crazier.
So,
Get the dude who did Blade Runner 2049 to do that shit. Shit would look crazy.
I mean, that guy should really just do more. Like he could probably do anything, but
he hasn't put out not a bad film. All his movies are crazy too.
Still, Sony not done. They are just like Xbox in the grave already. Sony keep shoveling on top because we got a new trailer for Last of Us Season 2 coming out in April. And, I was watching this earlier, and we actually, we see a lot of things from Last of Us Part 2, which I barely know because I have not played it. But right here, we have Abby, who is played by Caitlin Dever, who I've seen in some things, but not the Abby that many people dislike because she is not crazy buff already, so they've kind of dialed back that, which will help a lot for audience hatred, I guess, so there's that already. This is her exploring the hospital, I believe, is where the Rat King, I believe, is that part of the game. But we get a glimpses of Ellie, and there's Dina, of course, the classic. We remember it from the reveal trailer. I know I remember it when they revealed it, of her dancing with Dina. And I will say that people have been saying that Bella Ramsey should have been recast, right? Because she does not look older. Like, Ellie had a massive, glow up between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then this just is just she still looks like she's the 14-year-old girl, right? So I don't we've talked about it. I'm excited. I liked Last of Us Season 1. I don't like some things Last of Us 2 did. Well, I'm interested. I wouldn't say excited. I'm interested to see how they pull it off, if they change it, if they course correct, if they do anything, right? Because we've talked about it to death. You can keep largely the same story, the same scope, everything. You can keep it all. And still, you just got to fix that pacing. That pacing in Last of Us 2 was just a mess. And it completely ruins everything they were trying to do. And I think that doing it as, a show and doing it helps it a lot, and doing it with better pacing is just really what they just got to do. So
I was never a fan.
The optimist in me wants to say, maybe they can do a better job with the show than they did with the game. But at the same time, I really hate that fucking game, man. And it just has stained my outlook on anything Last of Us. I mean, it's like I have to fight with every fiber of my being to keep myself from throwing up right now. Like, I cannot stand that game, man.
I was thinking after this trailer came out, I'm like, well, I could probably play Last of Us 2 before the season 2 comes out. And I'm like, but do I actually want to play Last of Us 2?
No, you don't. I can answer
Play
that.
Better horror games.
I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna try and pretend like I'm your mother. It's like, sweetie, I know you think this is what you want, but you don't. You don't want this.
Damn, you sound just like Wizard's mother.
How
story.
Would you know what Wizard's mother sounds like?
We'll be right back.
The story is whatever. The story's a wash for me. I know it already. It may be the gameplay is what I would want, the upgrading of Last of Us 1, but at the same time, I'm just like, man, Last of Us 1 can be good when you're scrounging and doing all that, but then sometimes you're just like, man, this is just kind of it's more sneaking around and stealthing or shooting and guns blazing. And then they made all that kind of harder for Last of Us 2. So, I still think this season 2 will be good, because if it's not, then the season 1 fans will have to experience the same level of pain that we all went through, so
you will know my pain. You will suffer as I have suffered.
I'm glad also there's no hinting of any golf outing either. And then this shot, people have already pointed out, will be the shot right before Ellie brutally beats someone to death. So like, we'll see how they do that. I expect them actually to change a lot and possibly push a lot of what's in season 2 to a season 3. I don't know why they would try to rush everything into a season 2, and possibly ruin their own potential, because once they if this season 2 is everything, hello One Gun, if this season 2 is everything, right, then you either have to release Last of Us 3 game first, or you start going off to Plantation and making Last of Us 3 season 3, and it's all new stuff, right? And then is that going to be what the game 3 is, right? So, because HBO is going to want episodes, right? If this does well, it's like, well, we want more stuff. It's like, well, okay, story's done, right? So you got to wait till we finish Last of Us 3, and we're going to do this space game first or whatever, right? Like, no, the fuck you ain't. You know, like, you get back in there, you give us, like, imagine if HBO was like, yeah, so Joel dies first episode. It's like, no, the fuck he doesn't. like, you know, like, Pedro Pascal's a big deal in Hollywood. We ain't getting rid of him. Like,
it's like, have you seen Pedro Pascal's contract, dog? We got him for 5 more seasons. Like,
you ain't killing him off, right? Like,
we paid good money for this man.
Like, yeah, that would honestly be the best, like, copium that you could get. Is it's like, yeah, the Last of Us 1 or Last of Us 2, HBO paid him to not kill off Joel. So
I would love it. I mean, I mean, if they decided to incorporate, I guess, the quote unquote best parts of Last of Us 2
is the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I thought that's what I said, like, give us that for season 2 and give us part of Abby's story, and then give us hype for season 3, which is Abby going after Joel. And then season 4 is Ellie going after Abby. It's right there. Like, so
I agree with you, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. Even if they don't go that route, I don't see how they can get everything from Last of Us 2 into a second season, because there's just between the flashbacks, between the beginning with Joel, and everything going on in the present day, there's just a lot to cover.
Dina's actress looks really good, I'll say. Like, this looks like face model.
She does,
from the game.
Yeah, I agree.
And they always, like, the costume departments also always nail it too. Like, this is the exact, like, red shirt, and this is the flannel that Ellie wears, and that, like, they nail it. You know, we're seeing more Tommy, which is both a good and a bad sign. There's a shot too of Tommy and his wife where Tommy's crying, and so it's like, that doesn't bode well. I don't like that. Don't do it. It's a bad call. You know, this I guarantee is where, like, Ellie, like, the whole, like, demasculating scene that everyone always talked about, where, like, Ellie rips into him and all that. I guarantee that's what this scene is. With Joel crying. Yeah, so I don't know, like, we'll see. We'll see if they figure it out. But it will be it'll be interesting to see what they do. You know, there's only so much time left, and once it's out, I guess we'll be watching it as it's coming out, and we'll give our thoughts on it as the episodes drop. But
yeah, it's
generic slop.
I really hope they take your advice, man. But I mean,
it's in God's hands and Druckmann's hands, and
yeah, man. I'm worried, man. And maybe it's just a bias coming off the game. Maybe that's it, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I'll give them a fair shot. That's all I can do. That's all I can get.
So, not to be, and then finally coming in at last place, as they always do, Nintendo, the last of the big three, the smallest of the big three, the lamest of the big three games. Whoa. They always suck. But
Whoa.
one thing that everyone is always clamoring for some reason is some console that's literally worse than literally every other console on the market. The Switch 2 has apparently been leaked out by Amazon, of all places. So I've been
What's your
looking
beef
into
with
this.
the Switch though?
No, I was just for dramatic effect. Well, no, I do have beef with the Switch, right? Because the Switch has Ultimate Alliance 3 on it. And it's the only console Ultimate Alliance 3 I can't play it. Damn it. I have
That
one
looks
and
like
I have
crap
two and
anyway,
I've got
though.
3. Yeah, it's a completely different game.
You're right. The Switch does suck ass.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so the Nintendo Switch's sequel possibly was leaked out by Amazon. I'm looking into this, right? People have been saying the Switch 2's been leaked every single week, right? Even this right here, some like Japanese thing, right? It's you know, it says Nintendo Switch 2 2025, right? And there's also like a leak of this in someone's hand as well. It seems to be bigger than the Switch, but there's no Joy-Con detachment here.
Yeah, you know what though? Here's the thing about that. Y'all remember the Nintendo NX?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
That was the code name for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so for a while, people were talking about Nintendo NX, Nintendo NX. It was all over the internet. How do you guys not remember this?
I
I'm a
wasn't
loser.
following probably back then.
Okay. Anyways, it was all over the internet, like for like a year and a half before the Switch was actually revealed. NX, NX, NX.
Yeah.
And there was
says, so it's just the Switch.
and there was like we knew for a while it was going to be like a home console handheld hybrid type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing it was like I don't know how you would describe it. It was like an oval shape controller that had a screen with 2 analog sticks on it, and it was like the details was like it was going to have like the what do you call those buttons on smartphones where they're like on the screen?
Touch the
Haptic, is that it?
yeah, probably.
So it was like that. Like it wasn't going to be physical buttons. It was just going to be buttons that were like on the screen. And so like, you know, basically it was going to be like an advanced version of the Wii U gamepad pretty much.
Yeah.
But more streamlined, and you would be able to carry it anywhere. It would be portable. It'd be its own device in and of itself. Anyways, they had that out, and guess what? There was a picture out there with someone holding it in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And people thought it was real for like a month. And then you know what? Come to find out, it was something that somebody made in their basement, and it was a fake. So just because you see it in somebody's hands, guys, don't take that as confirmation that it's an actual real device.
Yeah. We were seeing, I was reading through, the people were posting that it was like shots of a Switch 2 at some like convention floor in a case or whatever, and it looks completely different than this, right? So it's like, what are we getting? Right? Then there's another one that's like, well, here's this book that's got all the specs on the Switch 2, and it's like, well, one of these controllers has like A, B, C, D buttons, and the other one has like different buttons, right? So it's like, this isn't like accurate and all this. So, you know, I know that people want their Switch 2. We're getting some rumors about it that it has the processing power of a PS4, and people were mad about that because they think that the PS4 only had like crappy games, right? And it's like, no, the PS4 was a beast. Like,
yeah, we just talked about how much of a beast it was.
Like Red Dead Redemption 2, like crazy what the PS4 could do, you know?
Yeah, Elden Ring, even Bloodborne.
Elden Ring, right? Like if the Switch got, you know, if Switch got that, then no more crappy Mortal Kombat ports of the, you know, like none of that stuff. So, I don't know. And, you know, we'll see what happens. Still, is this, we got to get it this year, right? We got to get Switch 2 2025. It's got to happen. But because Nintendo's got competition from an old friend, right? And a little You will be able to get your hands on a handheld console, right? As Atari
Oh,
is
just gonna say
back
Atari.
to once to kick Nintendo's ass. They're back at it with the Atari Retro, what they call it here, the My Arcade Retro,
The only game they release is ET.
the Game Station Go. And so they're not they're ready to they're ready this time. They got the numpad back, right?
Good God.
Fuck yeah.
What do you
I'll
mean?
get one. Oh,
What do you mean? Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
Look
There's
at
a,
that.
there's a reason Atari went out of the console market.
And they're back now.
There ain't no reason they can't make a comeback.
I've come back to you now at the turn of the tide.
Where's my Dreamcast 2? That's what I'm
Son of
looking
a
for.
bitch. Yeah, that'll be tight. Or Sega Saturn 7.
So yeah, so no, you might not get your Switch 2, but you get your Atari 1. That's what you get. Actually
Does
in
it-
your
does-
hand.
Does this just have old Atari games?
I have no idea.
Yeah, give
no
me
idea.
Superman and
that it?
Spider-Man and
Is
ET.
I don't know if they're in the modern making market. So
Well, I'm not
Not-
even asking that. Like, are they coming out with new original stuff?
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if they're even making like modern Atari games anymore. That'd be something more for our friend Jan Ong to talk about probably, but he's not here.
Man, where's my Dreamcast 2? I'm tired of this, Sega. It's time to come back. It's time to reclaim the throne.
They'll Atari's dropping a new system. Were they hiding like the Nazis? Is what someone said.
Oh my
Or
god.
they hiding from the. There's a paddle, a trackball, a number pad included. So, I don't know. I imagine that they'll be. I'm assuming they're gonna have their old Atari games on it, and they're not gonna be making new ones, but not sure about that.
Hail, Grumpy.
Yeah, Grumpy is here.
Love you, brother.
Mortal Kombat 1 sucks, he says. Actually,
like the new Mortal
Mortal
Kombat.
Kombat with an N.
What'd you say?
I like the new Mortal Kombat.
No, Wizard. What did you say?
He said,
Yeah, that was-
I said actually Mortal Kombat with an N.
Oh, I thought you
He
said
doesn't-
you wanted Mortal Kombat to end. I was about to.
No, well, I do want Mortal Kombat to stop fucking rebooting.
Okay,
yeah, that's the people's biggest issue with it.
Yeah,
Is that
that
like,
I
I
agree.
want to
That
commit
I
to the
agree.
fucking story.
I mean, look,
Gameplay
I
fucking
understand. I understand the first reboot they did when it came to MK9 and everything. I get it. It's a new company. They wanted to do their own thing. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, honestly, after Armageddon, there was nowhere else to go.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
there
I
was
was
nowhere
I was
else.
good with MK9. I was invested, and then MK10 is like, all right, now Liu Kang and Katana are gonna be bad guys. And then MK11, it's like, fuck all that, we're rebooting.
Yeah. And
Rebooting
MK11. I'm like, so soon already? Okay.
Yeah, that was, and then even now, like they're rebooted, but then it's like, yeah, but all that timeline stuff still happened, and the other people can still just pop over, no problem. It's like, all right, well, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
I didn't mind the idea that they have like the Shang Tsung reality and then they have the Liu Kang reality. But then
your
when
soul is mine.
but then they said that like there's a Katana god reality. There's a reality where Kung Lao's the god, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
literally
just- that's
everyone,
just
even like
stupid.
Baraka.
That's just stupid. I can understand having Shang Tsung have his own reality and Liu Kang having his own reality, but no one else is fighting for that crown. That makes no sense. That was dumb.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Hard
Sorry
disagree.
about
Grumpy.
that. I had to get it out.
Now speak your truth, but I disagree with you there, Grumpy. I like Mortal Kombat 1.
I like Mortal Kombat 1's aesthetic, okay? But there's some story choices I'm just like, this is
Yeah, and
dumb.
I
See, that's my
like
thing.
the
But how's
idea.
the game though? The fighting game is awesome. It plays very smooth, and the combat's crunchy.
From what I think, from what I heard, from what I hear, Mortal Kombat 1's gameplay is not as good as like 11's. That's like 11's was the better experience, but I'm not sure.
Now that's crazy because people didn't even like 11.
Yeah, now
I
that's
think the
crazy
people
to
that-
me too, because that game
I
was
think the
fun as
people
shit
that
too.
played it.
Now,
Right.
now, Mortal Kombat fans will whack off Mortal Kombat X. They'll whack that one off like crazy.
And
Yeah,
that's good
I like
gameplay
that
too,
game
though.
too.
So
But why? Just because the story's a little bit better?
No,
Even though they're all
no.
basically the same fucking game?
No, they say that Mortal Kombat X has the best gameplay out of all the modern ones.
Mm.
That it's better. Its gameplay is better than 11, and it's better than 1.
I might like the character selection more, or the designs maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. I'm not saying like I'm saying that. I'm saying that
Yeah, no,
the
I got you.
the Mortal Kombat community,
Yeah,
the people that are like really into like all the fighting dynamics, and they go balls deep into the combat and the gameplay. They say that X is the best system. I can't tell. I mean, because I'm not I like fighting games, but like I can't get that deep into like the dynamics and everything, and
yeah.
like I don't know any of that stuff. That's a lot of technical
Your
jarble. I don't get it.
Tekkens
Yeah,
and
the-
your Street Fighters and like Guilty Gears, those are the ones that are going to be like way more complex than Mortal Kombat. But
Yeah.
I agree. I'm not very technical
Yeah.
with them either, and that all the new modern Mortal Kombats feel kind of the same
So-
to me.
Now, if you want to get into technical jarble and you want me to comment on it,
Kingdom Hearts 4.
yeah, well, we can talk about RPGs in general, but
uh,
that's neither here nor there.
Grumpy says, let me clarify. I hate the reboot. The mechanics are fine. 11 was better. 9 was better than 11. But the story blows in 1, and it's just so to screw with Boone. I can't get behind it. I can't get behind that. No, I like the idea of the changes, right? Like that's what I want. Like just reboot, give me a new thing, like new way to tell a story, and like the new faces that we are also the old faces, right? You can kind of get hype about it. And then they're just still just like kind of weaving things. I don't know. We'll see what they do with Mortal Kombat, I guess 2, which also go back to subtitles now. No more number stuff. Go back to subtitles like Mortal Kombat Death Destruction or whatever,
The Mortal Kombat Death Destruction. That's so on the face. Like, yeah, we know what you guys are here for.
Yeah,
We-
like,
we- we
something like
get
that,
it.
right?
Blood
So-
murder.
Speaking of blood, perfect segue. Marvel Rivals. I could just talk about Marvel Rivals again, gentlemen. As season 1 is
Gun
going
in my
to
mouth emoji.
season 1 is going to officially launch on Friday.
Do not bring up Thor. I swear to God, was
Because in this new event, as you know, if you've watched the review of Marvel Rivals that I did on the channel, in this one of the timelines, Dracula has actually taken over New York and has plunged the world into eternal night.
it's about
and-
time. I mean, oh, how tragic.
And so this game,
Right?
here will be about
Damn,
taking
Dracula and Doctor Doom disrupt the moon's orbit. That's pretty cool.
well he blocks out the
there
sun.
she is. The waifu, the everything.
Like he like locks he does lock the moon, yeah. And then watch this. This is the cool part. It's like kind of stupid, but it's also really cool. It's like watch the Avengers like tower. Yeah. Because the vampires took over.
It's a V for
I see what they're doing.
vampire.
For far too long. The time has come for darkness to reign. Soon your resolve.
The new
will begin
Nosferatu
to
is really
crumble.
cool because they made, I guess you could call him Dracula. His powers, they made it seem so
It's-
cool and like
It's
cosmic.
Count Orlok.
Yeah, counter.
Well, if we're being technical, the only reason that they called him Count Orlok in the original Nosferatu was because Bram Stoker's family,
Yep.
I think it was his daughter or his niece or somebody, was still alive when that movie was being made.
Yeah.
And she did
It was
not.
like copyright issues. and
Yeah,
shit.
she did not give them permission. She did not want to give them permission to use the name Count Dracula. So, in
Mhm.
order to avoid getting sued by Bram Stoker's family, they had to call him Count Orlok. So he was originally intended to be Dracula. The whole
Which is
Count
awesome. Sorry, go ahead.
The whole Count Orlok thing was just to avoid copyright.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awesome in the end because they probably made him way creepier too to kind of avoid it even further. So he's like a
he's
completely different
monstrous,
character
right?
now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's
way
become an
creepier.
iconic character in his own right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like Marvel Rivals. I like this trailer, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, Wizard died. The
Wizard.
teacher's out. Substitute teacher's in.
Wizard.
No. What?
You
Where'd
like
you go?
muted yourself or
That-
something.
No. That's all. Here's the thing.
Ah, here's the thing. Let me tell you something.
Like, see? He's right there. Here's the thing.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, you piece of
Yeah,
dog shit. You piece of dog shit.
The ice man coming. No, I literally thought of this earlier. I was like, I should do that joke and then just pause and just not
Hell
say
yeah,
anything until you figure it out.
Can't
Dude, just
stand
start
this
doing
guy.
that. Just start writing some zingers for your
Yeah.
prep, dude.
You'll be stretched to
This is cool. I like this premise with Dracula and Doctor Doom teaming up to fuck up the moon's orbit.
Well, it's
That's
like
a cool...
it's so how it works is that Doctor Doom, like the plot of the game is that the two Doctor Dooms are fighting each other, right?
So is this really
then-
the plot of Rivals?
What?
Is this the plot of Rivals?
Yeah, that's the plot of like the game. That's like the reasons that like all like the universes are converging. And so again, watch my review of the game. I give you the rundown. So
Watch that shit.
so the Doom from the future is fighting the Doom from the past, right? And then that's made like quantum like shakes throughout the multiverse, right? And
That's
so
fine.
it's giving like certain people like powers they shouldn't have. So like Loki has become king of Asgard in one of the worlds, and that's why like when you're in the Asgard maps, that's the storyline you're playing. Null, king of the symbiotes, has corrupted the Wakandan gods, and is gonna take over the galaxy in that one universe. And then in one of the universes is that Dracula has used the Darkhold to plunge New York into eternal night. And so a lot of your heroes that you get from like New York based are from that timeline. So like Iron Man, Cloak and Dagger, Spider-Man, Squirrel Girl, they're from that timeline. And then you have your like Captain America, Punisher, and Black Widow are from 2099. They're from the future, right? So they're from a complete different thing. And you basically have to read through their bios and their team up things. And there's like a story section that kind of you read through these like long text only like things that give you a piece of the information, and then you kind of have to piece it together. Like, so if you read just like Cloak and Dagger's bio, it'll give you like, oh, they're from this timeline where this is happening. But if you read like Black Panthers, it's a completely different thing because it's cosmic stuff, and it's all about the Bast and the all that. So it's a completely different thing, and so you have to read through every person's bio and kind of piece the story together. And the story will evolve as new characters are added, and it even says on there when you click on it like, this is locked for now, but it will come out later. Like the next chapter of this individual hero story will come out later, right? So so this will be like, this Dracula part might bleed into the next season or not. Like, we've been getting some possible hints about where the story's gonna go.
that your fire will cease to burn. For no light shall survive in my empire of eternal night.
Yeah, so that's the trailer, really. Like I said, that is already on Friday. We're getting it, and so you get to see Dracula, handsome Dracula. It's just like, oh no, he's hot.
I don't think there's ever been a
What
accurate
is?
portrayal of Dracula from the description given of him in the book.
Isn't he supposed to be kind of a dashing character though?
Yeah,
Well-
and like Marvel Dracula
Yeah.
was always kind of like a very pale skinned. It depends. Like, there's Tomb of Dracula
I
originally,
mean, the
right? When he had
original
his
from
own-
Bram Stoker's novel. I thought he was like
Yeah.
the original from Bram Stoker's Dracula is he is like a dashing, gentlemanly old man. You know, he's not like this young, suave dude. You know, he's like a well, you know, like what you would think. You know, kind of like a Count Dooku type of figure. You know, just very like he's an older gentleman.
Yeah,
he's got
like
he's got a mustache.
This is Marvel's original Dracula when he had his own series.
Yeah, Book Dracula has a mustache, and he's got like long fingers with claws. And one of the things that really I don't think you see hardly. I mean, I've seen it in a few adaptations, but it's not very common. He's got hair on his palms.
He's Justin Trudeau, says Grumpy Old Ninja. Thank God he's out of there, huh?
He's got hair on his palms, and there's been portrayals
He's got
that
hair
have
on his
taken.
palms.
Yes, in the book he has hair on his palms.
That's weird. That's a weird thing to have.
But
Nice.
he's I don't know, like there's been versions of Dracula that have taken aspects of the book description, but there's never been like a coherent book portrayal of the Dracula. Yeah, in any kind.
Have you seen the
I
one
need
with
kind of
Gary?
medium.
Have you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman and Keanu?
Oh
Reeves?
yeah. That's my favorite Dracula film.
It sucks because that movie, there are so many, or there's a handful of really fucking cool and well done aspects in that fucking movie.
Yeah, that's to this day that is my favorite Dracula movie.
Oh,
Now,
really?
Now here's the thing. It's called Bram Stoker's Dracula, but honestly, it gets some parts of the book right, but the whole thing about like the reincarnated love interest, the whole Vlad the Impaler thing, like all of that is stuff that was added to Dracula lore later. I would say it's more so accurate to call that Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula than it is to call it Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, for sure. Like us, fucking oh my God, The Shining. Kubrick's The Shining is more so.
Yeah.
That's a very good comparison. But no, that's my favorite Dracula film.
Have you seen Batman versus Dracula?
No, I have not yet.
No, I'm not.
It's good. It's a good movie. It's connected to the Batman show, but you can watch it without watching it.
That art style is probably hugely influential on my shit. I fucking love the art style of that show.
Yeah, it's Peter Stormare, who we talked about earlier from Until Dawn, played Dracula in that. And they if you ever want to see a story draw the parallels between a Batman and Dracula, that does it. But there's a lot of like what you were talking about with that Bram Stoker thing about like his goal is to bring back his dead queen or whatever.
Yeah,
his dead bride.
Yeah, there's a whole reincarnation thing going on in Coppola's Dracula.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new Nosferatu, Jessica?
I have not.
I really
want
like
to,
it.
but I haven't seen it. Not yet.
There's some things that don't mesh well, but I actually really like it. There's some really awesome shit they do with
I heard it was
powers.
people said like it brought back gothic horror.
Yeah.
From the grave. But yeah, so we got also this Friday we'll have Mr. Fantastic added, their first post-launch hero.
Okay, that's clearly based on the MCU version.
Well, there's been like Mr. Fantastic's had a beard for like good couple of years now. He's had this kind of look. MCU version's not going to have the full beard. I mean, well, like there's the Krasinski version, if that's what you mean. But even that was like based off of a read from the comics and stuff. So yeah, people were talking, the word Luffy was thrown around a lot recently. About the way he plays.
It does kind of look like Monkey D. Luffy.
So this part right here is, if you've played Rivals, is crazy. Where Iron Man has his ultimate, which is Maximum Pulse, which drops a nuke down on wherever you aim, right? Is a massive like ball of damage. So Reed has an ability to absorb the the projectile and send it back, which is like, it's insane. So looking at this, I watched this back. So this isn't him doing the full damage of the ultimate back to Iron Man. This Iron Man is on low health, and this move will do a set amount of damage for projectiles, I assume. So whether this was the ultimate or if this was just like a single shot, you'll be able to bounce it back and do a set amount of damage with it. So it's not a broken ability. You know, the puffing up was also really weird. I remember when this got leaked out, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that. That's just weird. The growing really big, and yeah, here's his ultimate where
I think it's pretty cool.
he just doesn't stop. He just keeps going. So they said as long as he has someone to land on, you can do it again and again and again.
That's
which
awesome.
is similar. Which is similar to how Winter Soldier's works. Winter Soldier's does a similar thing where he jumps down and does like a big slam. And if you kill someone with it, then you can do it again. You can you have 5 seconds to launch it again. And then if you hit them and they don't die, you have a window to kill them, and that gives you the ultimate again. So if you're playing against a really good Winter Soldier, you just constantly hear armed and dangerous, and then again, and again, and again. And you're just like, dear God.
I think that's pretty awesome.
So Grumpy says, Reed wouldn't fight like that. Read a Fantastic Four comic. Well, you know, Grumpy, I hate to tell you, but the Fantastic Four have been in video games for many years at this point. And I can tell you, as someone who's played Ultimate Alliance extensively, that besides the puffing up, he puffed up, he wouldn't puff up his body, he'd puff up his hands and the hammer hands and stuff like that. But
well, that's
otherwise,
still not
like,
the source material, Wizard.
I'm just saying, but it's adaptation, right? You gotta make gameplay first. He's gotta be fun to play as first. Like, there's no gadgets. I'll give
Correct.
you that.
Absolutely
There's no
correct.
gadgets.
You gotta mix
but,
it up to make it work, make it a game. You gotta adapt it. Correct.
Yeah, I would have given him some type of gadget, like if he could have like the ultimate nullifier, right? Like if that's his ultimate, it's the ultimate nullifier, and it like turns off everyone's abilities for like a certain time or something.
Ooh, that would have been. Ooh, that would have been really clever. Yeah.
Yeah. So that, like I said, he's an inventor, right? Like he does more than stretch. He's an inventor, you know. And none of the games do anything with his gadgets, right? Like it's always stretching and whipping his arms around and stuff like that. But he could literally just go like do 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 and like throw out something. So
He can make like little nano clones of himself.
Yeah, holograms and stuff like that. But you know, this is also a read from a different universe, so it's, you know, there's always that. It's always that thing. But also launching on Wednesday is Invisible Woman is coming alongside Reed Giggity.
Giggity goo.
Already when she was first revealed, took the internet by storm. Also, no pun intended.
No pun intended, damn it!
Bullshit. Bullshit, no pun intended.
Who wants to see something fantastic?
So she'll be a healer, but I don't. I thought she actually wouldn't heal, but you can see here that she does. Some of the healers, the projectiles they shoot heal your allies as well as hurt the enemies if they hit them. But not all of the healers, which kind of sucks. Like Adam Warlock doesn't do it. He has like a set amount of heals. Same with Mantis. But everyone else has some type of healing projectile that is infinite in some capacity. And so if you're a healer like me, you like that because you can heal easier. But she has like shields and bubbles and stuff that she can throw out. And then of course, like going invisible, you know, you got to be able to do that.
What kind of move list should Reed Richards have, Grumpy? How should he play? He definitely should have the staple spinning around real fast with his arms stretched out move. That's definitely a banger.
Well, look, I think
control.
People also have to take in consideration technical limitations. I mean, there's just some things that Reed Richards does in the comics that would be very difficult to replicate in a video game format. That's why it's called an adaptation.
Yeah. But someone pointed out too that the voice actor for Sue is from one of the Persona games, I guess. And then someone, of course, memed
Never see me coming.
the "You'll Never See Me Coming." It had like Joker pop up.
Oh, you know what that makes me think of?
What?
The fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3.
God
You'll
damn it.
never
Never
see
see
what,
me
man?
coming. No, we're not getting back. We've done the Mandarin rant every week.
We're taking it back, baby. We're
It's a
taking
running
it back.
gag, baby.
We've ranted about whenever we get monetized and I can put emotes on this channel, we're gonna have to have we're gonna have to have Ben
Fuck yeah,
Kingsley,
dude.
Ben Kingsley emote.
I'm a terrorist. I'm a teacher.
She's got like a force push. She's got Fusro Da.
You have no clue how long I've wanted to do that, Namor.
When she kills Namor, she goes, "You have no clue how long I've wanted to do that."
Hey, didn't they have a thing back in the day?
So like people were talking about it that like their thing got retconned to where like Namor
Gay.
basically was like raping her the whole time,
Gay.
and that's why she's like, fuck
Oh.
Namor.
We get it, white men bad.
Oh, come on now.
And so her ultimate is a massive field that turns everything outside, like if you're outside of it, everyone is invisible, right? Like you so
Damn, that's cool.
so like if you're Iron Man, right, you're hitting and you can't hit anyone because you can't see anyone.
Idiot.
A clear winner.
And you know, the internet, as the internet has been doing with this game, loving Sue, and you know,
Yep. Grumpy agrees
for-
with you
for-
with the Reed Richards.
for her
He should be
gameplay.
using tech.
Let's see here. RULE.
Oh, you gotta wait, Jessica. You gotta wait. It's not this weekend. Probably they're gonna.
Oh,
It's gonna be out.
what?
there.
What? I wasn't.
I was just saying.
What?
because-
hold up. Why is my mic still on?
No, because I'm saying because you gotta wait. Because there's also every character comes with a skin, and Invisible Woman comes with Malice as her skin.
Step on me, mommy.
Which, like people pointed out, she is just her ass is just out. Like they're not holding back. Like
It doesn't look that
Psylocke.
bad in the game. It doesn't look that bad in the game.
Yeah, you know, a kid's game.
Psylocke was pushing it, but like they're just like no. And that's the thing. Like this game is this skin will cost money, right? And everyone's like, yeah, fine. Like
Yeah. No.
Like-
Listen,
Good.
Quizzer. You don't know this as a virgin, but yeah,
Hey,
that makes
No,
total
I-
sense.
what-
That
no,
makes
what do you mean? I
absolute
don't know
total
this
sense.
as a virgin. Virgins are who's gonna be buying this the most. What are you talking
You know what? You know
talking
what?
about?
You know what? That's true fucking shit.
Do not
dog.
don't recite the spells to me, witch. I was there when they were written. Right?
hell yeah, dude. That was fire.
Tech field.
I'm bricked up.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm excited to play as her. I like playing strategist. And new characters are always fun. I still haven't even played with all of the characters in the base game, really. And then yeah, they had the Malice skin. Everyone I assume is going to be buying this pretty quick. They even have even her like toes are out on the skin.
yeah,
like
dude.
it's just like
Coomer.
how egregious
For
can
the
we get?
Coomers.
Yeah, it's literally the Coomer skin. I'm trying to find. Did I not save it? The
That costume design.
Is
Kinda
genius. You
fucking
shut up.
sucks,
You
though.
shut up. It's
okay.
genius.
Well, you're aware of Malice original, right?
No, I'm not really familiar with any Fantastic Four lore.
So Malice Sue was mind controlled by Psycho Man, and he like made her evil, and it instilled like this. It basically like messed with her like really bad, and so it's like basically her evil version is Malice, and it still popped up from time to time in the book. So they did a decent adaptation of it.
Yeah, in the comics is way more flesh and skin and ass and tits. No feet. Though.
Well, yeah, no feet though. This was during the time he didn't draw it though. He didn't draw it back then.
Feet don't exist. What are feet?
No, I didn't have the clip that I wanted, or the maker, because the skin for Reed is the maker, which is what you'll read now in the read also no pun. Damn it. No, but you'll see that nowadays with the ultimate, you know, the ultimate universe. He's the Reed Richards that became evil, and in the new Ultimates book, he rewrote the whole rewrote the whole reality. So
yeah, I never
rewrote it.
That's a stretch.
We did.
Subscribe. I mean, come on. Like, if you're watching, you're not subscribed.
I really hate you guys.
I'm
right
called
now.
the Wizard of Wordplay for a reason.
That was a
people.
triple alley-oop, dude.
You know what? You know
was
what? No, I just hate Samurai Snowman right now. Okay, Wizard, I can't hate you because it's in your nature. Okay.
I expect this from you, but Snowman, you're better than that.
Am I now? Is that
But
proven yet?
anyway, and so, you know, Rivals has been it's been on a hot streak, right? People liking it. A lot of Overwatch players ditching to try it out, and I've seen some people talk about reacting to the Sue skin and recently and all that, where they're just more like, man, like these devs, they can't be doing that. They're burying Overwatch. But Overwatch, guys, finally has responded. They're striking back. They're not going to take all this erasure lying down. Because they are announcing a new skin pack, the Cosmic Bundles.
They mad? Oh my god!
It's just a bunch of
Mercy,
naked chicks.
Diva, and Echo, and Zenyatta, or
We have
whatever.
boobs.
Just
We got
completely naked
boobs.
now.
See, we got lots of boobs.
All of these skins are recolors of skins that were already in the game. So yeah, so they Overwatch not going silently into that good night, I guess. And
But it's still going to that good night.
they're
Kicking and
screaming. Exactly.
Yeah.
They are. Grumpy wants me to look up Fantastic Four, the cover of 375. Oh, this is the boob window suit. I'm not seeing the. Well, that was shopping. I hit, not images. No, I thought it was the boob window suit because Sue, a suit that will swear to God, if we see a suit, no, it is the boob window.
Costume's fire. Fuck the haters, man.
So the boob window suit, we're gonna get that boob window suit. The way they're cooming us, gonna get the boob window.
Hell yeah.
Boobs.
Grumpy. Alex Ross has recently done some absolutely fucking crazy Fantastic Four covers. I don't know if it's just like one or two.
Malice is on 369. Well, yeah. Alex Ross, I think he did the whole series. It's like Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a sequel to like an old story. I don't think we're gonna get with the jacket, but I think we're gonna get the boob window suit. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen the way they've been cooming us.
Tiggle bitties.
Deep cut. Your favorite Martian reference from Jesker James. Subscribe. You don't like.
Come on. You know you
it's right there. I mean, what more do you need? We got your favorite Martian references. They released a trailer here, showing off their Sanctum Sanctorum map because they're introducing a New York map where you will be, I believe, pushing a payload from the Avengers Tower or the Baxter Building to the Sanctum or something like that. But they also have a new mode where you'll be going inside of the sanctum, and it's a free-for-all mode. So it is one player versus a group of one players, right? So you have to just fight each other for points. Now, there is a free-for-all mode in the game already. It's a team free-for-all mode, though, so it's 5v5, but this seems to be 1v1, v1, 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 or whatever. So inside the Sanctum Sanctorum, I saw some footage of it with XQC playing it because he's apparently like leaking stuff out or just showing stuff. But they just have portals just open at all times. And how it works in the game when you're Doctor Strange is you have a portal ability that lets you basically make like a portal that works like Portal from Portal, right? Like you can make like an infinite loop if you do one and then up, the one on top of the other. You can, there's videos of people who put portals on the ground outside of spawns of the enemy team and they all walk into the portal and then are flung off the map, right? Like stuff like that. If you're doing capture the point, you can just put your portal at the point and your whole team can just walk through it, right? So basically that'll be they just have like ever rotating portals to where you're going to go through one side and then it might change while you're on that side and come into a different room. And so that'll be a fun thing. And of course the Easter eggs that'll be inside of this. I believe this right here is the might be the Wand of Watum possibly, but it might also be that new staff that he uses in his emote. There's his ghost dog I heard people talking about. I think that's from All New, All Different. I don't know if this is supposed to be Clea, because Clea has white hair. Not sure. This is, of course, Wong, who looks like a Giga Chad Wong. Like, he doesn't... There's a squid inside of his fridge.
Oh, that could be taken like kind of way.
I don't think it can.
Wait, you don't like calamari?
And then here's the axe on the
There's
wall,
a
which
squid
is
in my fridge.
All New, All Different Doctor Strange. And there's a cloak right here. So then there's this part. This case right here is broken, which is interesting. I wonder what like the implications of that. Like if you can inspect it and it'd be like, this held the blah, blah, blah. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy game has that. When you go to the collector's vault, you can look in, you can walk through, and one of the cases is broken. And it's like the Brood Queen's like hatchling or whatever. And then it's like,
is Howard the Duck there?
Howard the Duck is not there, but they have like the Mandarin's rings, right? And they have.
You'll never see me coming.
Yeah. So then the as always with a new season comes the Battle Pass, and $10 gets you the Battle Pass, and you get 10 skins, and the skins that they're offering are pretty good. Like we got this Loki this is from a Thor comic, but it's a renewed design. But I love the way that his horns writhe. It seems like they move. But then you get Blood Moon Knight with a black and white like a inverted color palette with some red in there too.
Ooh.
Bounty Hunter Rocket, which he was in the beta. This like Western style Rocket Raccoon. A blue Penny Parker, which I believe this is just a recolor, but I'm not sure because I think the helmet is different. But people pointed out that this is the last of the Evangelion ones, I think, because red is her base one, and then there's purple is the one you get for the PlayStation, and then there's this blue one. I don't know. Whichever one's that mech anime people like. This Magneto King Magnus skin, which I love to God that the metal changes color, because there's another skin that he has that's Snowman is gone. That's Swamp.
Oh.
There's this other skin he has that it's his purple and red skin, but the metal on the back is like silver, or gray, like his base skin, and it just doesn't look right. I'm like, I don't like it. But now this is especially for a free skin, this is great. And it comes with even like a custom, like you always get custom emotes, you get custom win animations and stuff, and Savage Submariner, which is based off of his comic book look, where you see him with this vest and the pants. I wish he didn't have the crown though. It kind of ruins it for me, but it's a different look. But you can look up Savage Submariner, and it's a run that he's had. Blood Edge Iron Man, where he kind of looks like a knight. Because there is like lore with this where it's like they're putting together this team to fight Dracula, and so that's where you get these like vampire themed people. You know, Blood Soul, this Adam Warlock. The people were excited for this one. It's a Hellfire Gala Wanda, and people like Wanda. People also like how she has a dark skin, and so they're happy that she has this dark skin in there. And it's even darker for this version of her. But yeah, so oh, there he is. He's back.
All right, I'm back, baby. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, look, Frosty, you're back again someday.
He is a snowman. Well, save the best for last for these battle pass skins, because the one that I saw this and I was like, I gotta show the guys, is that Wolverine gets his vampire hunting costume, which people were putting it for like Van Helsing, like, it's Van Helsing, right? Like the movie Hugh Jackman was in. And I'm like, nah, right? That's not what this skin is to me, you know.
Nah, it's not.
And like, you know, that's like, you want to look at the surface level vampire hunting Wolverine, you get your Hugh Jackman, right? But no, do you know what this is to me, Snowman?
I want to say it looks almost like Vampire Hunter or Hellsing the anime.
I was going to say it looks like a pimp named Logan.
Yeah.
No, this is picture this, right? You know, the white hair and the hat, and he's just like, what's that smell? Oh, the blood. Oh, it seems to be, beast. This is Gascoigne Wolverine. This is Gascoigne Wolverine.
Maybe that's a bit of a stretch too.
No, I don't think they intended it that way. It's just that it's
right.
That's just what it reminds me of, and people going like, Van Helsing, right? It's like, not like, they're like, look, it's Van Helsing, you know. And then it's like, no, this is Gascoigne.
It's possible.
But yeah, so, which, Jesker, you don't get that reference because you haven't played Bloodborne. But
you fool.
I feel left out.
It's not a spoiler though, because he's like the first proper boss. So
you spoiled the entire game for me, and I'll never forgive you.
Yeah, right there, he did look like him. When he does that once / he did kind of look like him a little bit.
Yeah. I wish this is like, he's meant to be a vampire hunter, but like if he was like a werewolf, and because the way Wolverine works in this game is that you reach like berserker rage mode, and it causes your hair to like poof out and gives your Wolverine the classic look, but it just makes your claws red, and I think whatever the mechanic is, but man,
I wish this game was good actually.
Like, it can be, it's just a different type of thing,
Combat just doesn't feel fucking rewarding at all.
I mean, it depends. Like, I find it really fun when I'm in the fray, but
well, healing is a little bit of a different story too.
Yeah, playing support. It depends on what you like. Who'd you play when you
first tried Iron Fist, fucking hated it. Then I did Moon Knight. I kind of like Moon Knight a little bit more.
Moon Knight is good. His projectiles are a killer because really what you got to do is you got to throw your onks down, because the onks become like
you don't tell me,
like a ring off point or bounce off point, and then they attack more often if you do that. So, but no, I've messed around with almost everyone besides Wolverine, but if I might, when I get the Gascoigne costume, might fuck around. But they are adding a new skin, also not separate from the battle pass. That new mode I was talking about, where you are a free for all. I believe that's like their new seasonal mode, and that will reward you some like is random things, like you get like profile picture banner things, like stuff like that. But at the very end, they have on there at the very end you get a skin, right? And this skin was a skin I was willing to pay money for. I was willing to shell out the $20. Need to get this skin, but Marvel Rivals said, no, Wizard, you don't. Because we are going to give it to you for free because you were such a champion of this game. We get the comic accurate Thor costume for free.
I knew Thor was
Nice.
going to tie into this somehow.
There's still the chance of getting like vintage comic Thor, right? Like using this as the base. Helmet's the same. You might brighten it up a little bit. Maybe they might make a whole thing for it. You know, cape's the same, but you want to do like the black shirt, right? You want to do simple gold belt, right? Like the yellow, the black striped boots. Like give me that. It's still a possibility, but this is not bad. This is a really, really good comic accurate to the more recent comics, right? Like what we got.
His like Under Armour.
Yeah,
No
like
pun
the
intended.
the metal armor thing that became his standard look for a long time.
Yeah, the like mesh looking shit. That's the
Yeah.
type of armor I'm trying to like emulate for my
Yeah.
bunch of my characters.
So so a lot happening with Marvel Rivals this week, this Friday. And you know, I was telling Snowman earlier, Grumpy says too modern. Like it's modern, but Grumpy, it was like 20 years ago. So it's like I mean, like, and even now, modern Thor doesn't look like that anymore. He looks like classic Thor again. But anyway, so I was telling Snowman earlier that possible if we cross 100 subs. I will do a gaming stream, and I will be here Friday. What did you say?
Uh-huh.
Huh? I'll be here Friday night streaming Marvel Rivals Season 1, and you can all watch me play the new maps, the new modes, the new characters, whatever, Friday night after SmackDown is over. So 10 o'clock Central Time. But be
4 hours of Malice ass.
Four hours of
hello.
Thor wanking.
Hello, B. No, because I will play more than just Thor.
No, you won't.
I will. I don't play Thor all that often because he's a Vanguard, and most people don't.
YouTube.
The way it works is most people don't pick a support class, and I'm usually the one that's like, I'll play. No one's picking support. I'll play support. I'm a good support player.
This is YouTube. Save that shit for your OnlyFans.
I'm just saying that. But I might play Thor. I'll probably play everyone, depending on how long we go. Like we go 2 hours, right? 10 to midnight, right? Easy. And we'll I could probably just, the matches are quick. I can swap it in and out. And if we're playing against like actual people, they're probably just gonna kill me the whole time, but whatever. Then how it's gonna work is like all gaming streams that we'll do, I will be just like this, and I will have my graphics card running into my computer. I'll have it shareable window. It'll be just like I share everything else on here, and I can all sit with all of you, and we'll be able to talk while I'm playing the game. And so you can be like, Wiz, this game sucks, or, you know, Wiz, you suck at this game, and so on and so forth. Or you can literally just sit there and talk about whatever nonsense you want to talk about, and it'll be perfectly fine. So,
Wiz, you and this game suck. How about that?
well, I mean, we're not playing the game yet, so
That was a good rehearsal though. That's probably what it's gonna sound like.
Yeah, and like I said, but you don't even have to talk to me or about me. Like you can literally just be like, yeah, remember the, you know, like remember like when in Wicked when this happened, and
Oh yeah, that reminds me how much Wizard sucks at this game he's playing right now.
yeah, then you can then see you got to have a better transition than that, Mister.
You
Writer.
get it. You get it.
Oh, that's what's gonna happen.
No, it's like no.
Me and Cynic are just gonna pop up here and be like, "Hey, Cynic, you want to gush about Wicked for like 4 hours?"
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
let's
literally
do
just
it,
gush
dog.
about Wicked while I'm just sitting there playing this game. That'll be fine. I'm good with that. They'd be like, yeah, like Wicked sucks. You know what else sucks? This game and Wizard.
Yep.
Uh,
He is wicked
Ah.
trash at this game.
yeah, but bangers. Damn. We just, again, subscribe. If you're watching
I mean,
and you're
come
not
on.
subscribed, what more do you need? 100 subs, and you can listen to these people trash me while I play a game they called like crappy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. Let's
They called me
go.
a-
subs, custom gun in the mouth emojis. Come on.
200 subs, and we play superhero D&D once a month on
Oh.
stream.
Come on.
We're there. I get messages from people begging me to do it before 200 subs, and I say no, it has to be at 200 subs.
Nay, he says.
Nay, I say. So, pinned at the top of the chat, I have our Ask Us Anything, as I do every week. So, any questions you want to ask, click it and type them out, and you can ask them. So, Grumpy
Grumpy
asked a question. I believe it was about Xbox at the time, but it's all as Grumpy's tries his hardest to make it legible. Honestly, did you believe they wouldn't? I believe this is about is before the stream, so this is about Xbox bending the knee. Do you believe they wouldn't? Phil Spencer has been trying to kill the box part of Xbox for years. I wonder how it will really go for them. What do you all think? Yeah, like killing, like not having a console, right? Like they want to just be done with the console market.
I saw this coming, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I never, like we were saying, I haven't bought an Xbox in a long time. I was willing to. I do believe that Sony needs to have some competition to keep itself going, and that would be my big thing.
Because Sony's going to get way too. They're going to start making some really dumb decisions, and there's not going to be anybody to keep them in line.
Yeah, besides Nintendo, and Nintendo's going to lose to Atari, so you know.
Oh my God! No, bring back the Dreamcast. Bring back Sega.
Not
Bring back the Game Gear.
We need the Atari, or no, not the Atari, the Jaguar.
I want fucking Game Gear. Damn it.
The Game Gear. Yeah.
I also
bigger, but I want it to be bigger than it was before.
I also like the ColecoVision.
ColecoVision. So Grumpy asked superhero and D&D. You mean like Marvel, TSR? No. So it'll be Mutants and Masterminds. The Mutants and Masterminds are with our own original characters, and I will be the game master / dungeon master as is known in D&D, and I'll be putting these people against bad guys and villains and all this against their own created characters, and they'll be trying to survive the death traps of the many machinations that my mind can manifest. That'll be fun. 200 subs, and we'll start doing monthly D&D streams, and it'll be chill. We'll just hang out. We'll do the thing, and we'll probably, like I said, I want it to be like we're actually hanging out. So it's like if we're just eating, we order pizza or something, we all sitting there eating whatever, right? Hanging out.
Pizza eating contest.
Pizza eating contest. No, come on.
Does that mean you're going to DoorDash us all some pizza?
No, I'm not doing that. If I drank, we could all do drunk D&D, but
yeah, I want a 65-inch Game Gear, Grumpy.
So
carry it around my shoulder like a boombox.
Preston asks, when does Snowman get to host a show?
Right?
Never.
That'll be fire.
Never.
What rules am I using? It's whatever comes in the Mutants and Masterminds official thing. So 1 die, 1 d20, stuff like that. So you can look up how to play it, and that'll be in the last stream we did, the beginning of the year stream. I kind of go over it a little bit, but not to the big technical thing. That'll come later when we do our session 0, whenever we do it. So then Grumpy asks, do y'all think Rivals will overtake Overwatch in the subgenre as a whole? Well,
Ooh,
I think it already did.
Yeah, it's good. That's a good question.
The hero shooter, I think, Team Fortress 2, I think, still technically holds the hero shooter genre because people just have had it for so long, but we'll see. I mean, keep adding heroes. Marvel stuff is really popular, right? Like, people pointed out that Marvel Rivals is going to add 4 heroes this season, right? They're adding Reed and Sue this week, and Johnny and Ben are coming later, but still like this season. So that's still like within 3 months. That's 4 heroes in 3 months. Whereas like Overwatch took a year to add 1, right? So people like Overwatch people were like talking like this is some fast turnaround because half the work is done, right? Half the work of making a new Overwatch character is creating a new character. Marvel Rivals don't got to do that. It's literally just like, yeah, here's your guy. Boom. You know, like if they want to fill that roster with hundreds, they can, because all you got to do is make a balanced thing. So they can just go like, hey, here's your here's Colossus. You know, we got, you know, Colossus' sister already in there. Here's Colossus. And then next one, here's I got a poster with all the Marvel guys. Here's Abomination. Here's Black Cat. Here's Rogue. Here's Rhino. Here's, you know, Silver Samurai. Here's Vulture. Here's, you know, so on and so forth, right? Like they can just keep going. So really it's a you know, like a stamina battle, right? Like a it's a war of attrition, right? It's as long as NetEase doesn't fuck it up, they'll bury him, right? Like,
yeah, that's a good point. There's no way that Overwatch should come out with as many new characters to ever catch up with Marvel's roster of fucking characters.
Yeah. And Overwatch already shot themselves straight in the foot. Like Overwatch 1 had its problems towards the end, and then they like removed the whole thing, announced Overwatch 2, announced it was going to have a PvE mode, and then removed that. And then they're like, well, we're not going to do that. And then now a lot of the stuff that was in Overwatch 1 Classic was removed. And then they're like, well, you get like half the game and you got to buy everything again. You got to do everything all over again.
And I mean,
and everyone's like,
Overwatch
this is awful.
like super fall off anyway?
Exactly. Like it already, like it was suffering. So they basically like Marvel Rivals came in like I'm trying to think of like a metaphor. It's like a wounded, you know, animal, and they just came in and everyone's like they didn't even like kill it. It's just laying there dying, and Marvel Rivals is just the new thing. Everyone's like, great.
like the wizard and the toad.
Because it's also like that's very strange. Is that some type of like German fable that you did? I've never heard of such a thing.
You'll get it one day, my son.
I don't know. No, but you know, so it's basically like like all Marvel has to do is just not fuck it up, like, because it's also good. Like the game is also good for those hero shooter genres and all that, and its monetization's a little steep, but it's not too bad, but it could be better. I outlined this in the review, but like it's not bad, and that's good. So it's like if it was just a like mobile game as a console game, it would be like, all right, this is shitty. But it's just a solid game too. So, you know, if I was Overwatch, I'd be pulling the plug or something, because you ain't getting, or like they announced that they have like avatar skins, like Last Airbender skins that they're doing. They need to do more licensed characters, perhaps. Maybe look into doing that, kind of like do a Fortnite thing, but make like get like what Mortal Kombat does, get like the Terminator as a character in Overwatch, and he has like a full kit. Maybe do something like that.
Try to get Street Fighter characters in that bitch.
The Street Fighter characters. I mean, Overwatch is a shooter, so I mean, like.
You ever heard of Hadouken?
No, but you'd have to like have the guns, is what I'm saying, right? So you know, hey, Stray Beans. Yeah. It's what you want. You want to have someone that has like the guns and could shoot, like, so like your Terminators, your RoboCops, right? And you could have something like that.
Oh, you're talking about Overwatch. My bad.
Overwatch, yeah. Maybe you can crawl out from the depths, but you know, it doesn't look like Overwatch will retake its throne. Definitely, it was never going to have that if Marvel Rivals never existed, because they just kept fucking it up. But Grumpy says, so what if season 3 thoughts ? Mine are not positive. I have not watched it yet. I meant to. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, I've not seen it either.
I saw the ending and the slideshow that they give you, which was stupid. And yeah, and in general, I feel like that show just was not what it should have been. And I hope that the animators get work doing a show that's just adapting things from the comics accurately, And that's the animated show I want. I've said this forever. Like literally just take a run, take an arc, or take a single issue, animate it, voice act it, and put it out there. It's what DC's been doing for years and like nailing it, those like animated movies. Like the Marvel rivals of the superhero media, those DC movies. So Stray Bean says it's very weak, too much bad comedy. Yeah, that What If has bad comedy. Grum says it's so much worse than you think. Like, I saw the stuff with Darcy and Howard the Duck's egg child.
Oh man,
Yes, that is a real thing.
Howard the Duck's awesome though.
Then Grumpy says, what is y'all's favorite Dracula movie? Which Dracula movie do you hate? I hate the last voyage of the Demeter. Wasted potential. My favorite I can't pick because I like too many. Hammer
Damn.
films good.
I need to peep the last voyage of the Demeter still. That sucks. It sucked out. Is disappointing. I love the new Nosferatu and the original Nosferatu. My least favorite though.
I can only go with the Dracula movies I've seen. So that would be the original Bela Lugosi and Dracula Untold. So
my favorite is the 92 Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. My least favorite.
I actually haven't seen many.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dracula Dead and Loving It. I've also seen that.
Yeah, I don't find it funny.
Yeah, it definitely isn't as strong as Mel Brooks's other.
Yeah,
movies.
it's not funny to me. So that's probably my least favorite.
I think it's also like PG-13 or something. They're like very like toned down compared to the other ones, but yeah, so I guess of the two, mine would be because Dracula Untold I like because it's stupid and actiony and dumb. And I like how they tie in the Vlad the Impaler thing. And when he impales a guy, it's really stupid and cool.
I pretty much actually like all the Dracula movies I've seen.
But yeah, I like the Bela Lugosi one. I like the Universal monster movies. The very first cinematic universe, don't forget.
That's right, Marvel. Get fucked.
Yeah. And then they Universal get fucked because you keep trying to do it again and you keep failing.
Because they keep doing it in such weird ways. It's like, bro, stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Just do modern versions of those movies you made back in the fucking 20s and the 30s.
Bro,
like,
if they could tie in the new Nosferatu, the Invisible Man, and Wolfman in together, they could get something going with that. Because the Invisible Man was good and Nosferatu
Invisible Man was good, yeah. Is Nosferatu a Universal movie or is
no,
that like...
it is not.
No.
I don't believe.
Okay, so then they can't do it by definition.
Anything's possible, man. It's America.
Bro, here's the thing. If they're gonna do the if they're gonna do a cinematic universe, a modern version of the Universal monsters, there's only two ways you can do it. One, just do modern versions of those classic films. Or two, try and do more book accurate version of those stories. That's the only two right answers.
Well, like the Invisible Man movie was good, and then they were like, so like the Universal like Dark Universe or whatever. When they tried to launch that with like the Mummy,
With Thomas Cruise.
the Tom Cruise one.
Exactly, Grumpy. Money talks. Oh, god damn it.
Yes. So there's like Wikipedia has like they don't have a thing for the Dark Universe, but they have like is an entry in the other like Universal monster things. But yeah, so as early as October 2013, the series of films was intended to relaunch the Universal Monsters characters through a format similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC Extended Universe. Projects were officially announced in July 2014. Chris Morgan and Alex Kurtzman oversee the development of the rebooted modern-day versions of the Universal Monsters. Duo's first involvements, beginning with additional photography scenes filmed for Dracula Untold, position the characters of the films in modern day. After the film underperformed, its connection to the Dark Universe were downplayed, with The Mummy 2017 repositioned as the official start of the new film series. In May 2017, the slate of reimagined incarnations of titular monsters was officially titled The Mummy introduced the ancient... See, that's the thing, is like The Mummy tried to do too much. So it's like, it introduces the titular monster, and then alongside the heroic character turned monster portrayed by Tom Cruise. Monster's origin depicted in the film were intended to be experienced upon in later installments. Universal Pictures announced the additional main cast. Like, Russell Crowe would be Dr. Jekyll / Mr. Hyde. Johnny Depp is the Invisible Man. Javier Bardem is Frankenstein's monster, right? It's like, you're doing too much already. Like, who are you, James Gunn? Like, it's the Zack Snyder in it. Like, everyone takes the wrong things from Marvel. Slow build, people. What solo movies? Drip feeding here and there, but don't just start with a whole cast of Avengers right away.
They want to get to where Marvel is now without actually going through the work.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So
so then they had studio revealed official slate for films: Frankenstein with Javier Bardem. In May 2017, while the character was intended to initially debut in Bride of Frankenstein before featuring in his own movie. That's starting with Bride of Frankenstein. That's, Wolfman, which they're still finally doing. The studio was interested in casting Dwayne Johnson in the role as the Wolfman. Could you imagine The Rock as the Wolfman in a gritty horror action movie?
That would have been so laughably bad.
What is wrong with these people, man?
Bride of Frankenstein, the project was announced in May 2017, intended to be directed by Bill Condon with a script of February 14, 2019 release date. Angelina Jolie was within negotiations with the studio to star in the lead role, but the movie was delayed and removed from its scheduled release 2017.
A couple of these sound super fucking interesting. Like, I would have loved to see Creature from the Black Lagoon, Hunchback, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. So Dracula... Alex Kurtzman announced plans for a future film to center on the titular vampire as part of the Dark Universe slate of movies. Creature from the Black Lagoon, part of the planned slate of films. Studio considers Scarlett Johansson for a role in the movie. Invisible Man announced initially as Johnny Depp was cast star in the lead role. You know,
yeah, they
Phantom
fucked
of the
Snyder
Opera.
over Grumpy. Sorry.
No, yeah. Yeah, and okay, I'll say it. Snyder's vision would have sucked. I mean, come on. I don't care if you could have given him 20 years to make that fucking franchise. Never. He was already off the wrong foot because he sucks. You cannot do superheroes.
I mean,
dude?
Look,
Watchmen, the movie he did before that, The Watchmen.
Okay, well, Snyder works best at deconstruction of superheroes, right? Watchmen is a deconstruction of superheroes. It works. Snyder cannot then build superheroes and deconstruct them in the same movie, right? So that's why he
didn't get a chance. They didn't give him a chance.
Look,
man.
hold up. There was one instant where you can glean maybe what he was going for, and the idea and concept is cool. When they did the flashback where you had like the Kryptonians and you had the Green Lanterns, and you had like the Olympians, and everybody, all these different factions fighting against Darkseid. If he had taken that, and then the narrative would have been, okay, the Justice League has representatives from all these different factions that fought Darkseid long ago, and the Justice League is like the modern incarnation of those factions united against Darkseid now. That would have been cool, because it's like George Lucas says, it's like poetry, it rhymes.
But like Snyder wanted to tell Injustice is what he wanted to do. He didn't want to do. He wanted to do Injustice.
That's dumb.
He kept forcing that Injustice shit into the thing.
And maybe he didn't realize what he had. But if he had gone the route that I suggested just now, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
He was, dude. He had an epic plan, but they just tried to force it too much. But bro, I will say, Wizard, let me finish. I will say that Zack Snyder has put out some absolutely atrocious films, and he has been proven to be not the best of writers. So with
Yeah.
the greatest vision ever, he still could have absolutely botched it.
Snyder's a great visual director, right? Like for adapting a comic one-to-one like he did Watchmen was good. You just got to have someone in his ear going, Zach, that's stupid. Like he's got to get a script that's someone else's, and he's got to get storyboards that's someone else's, and he's got to get like all, but he can't be in charge of his own stuff. He cannot do it.
Correct.
If
he needs like
if
a
he was
co-writer for
given
sure, at least.
If he was given just Batman, if he was given just like just something else to work with that's separate from everything else, and it was someone else looking over his shoulder going like, no, that's stupid.
Dragon Ball Z, bro.
But like Robbie says, Snyder's plan was awful, still gave us the coolest dark side. Well, like of the live action dark sides, he's the second. Smallville, you never actually saw him, but you saw him a little bit. But like he also, the dark side in that movie is stupid because he forgets where the anti-life equation was. Like, is he stupid? But no, and so they have these. Grumpy. They have these modern, the modern ones that they were talking about. I'm trying to see.
If someone would have helped tighten his vision and would have let him just finish and flesh it out, at least we would have got like a singular vision that wasn't completely trampled on and a complete mess.
I don't even think what I was suggesting is what Snyder was going to do. I don't think he even realized he had the potential there to make it into something great, but that's what I would have done. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, so they do have the Wolfman here. So like they basically stopped doing their whole interconnected universe thing. They had Invisible Man, like the Mummy bombed and killed everything, but they still had Invisible Man in the works. But they reworked it, and Invisible Man was great. Like it's a great a modern retelling of that story.
Good. I really liked it.
And they were gonna do the Invisible Woman, and then they never went anywhere with it. And then they did Renfield, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, Abigail, and then now we have Wolfman coming out. So they'll maybe get their footing, but they'll never touch an interconnected universe again. That's gone. Coolest looking. Even then, his look's not the greatest. I feel like
I didn't really like how he looked that much either. Actually,
I don't like bald head dark side. You got to put a head cover on him. You can't just go full bald head, receding hairline dark side. You can't do it.
Steppenwolf looked fucking incredible, though. I will say that.
Well, Steppenwolf Whedon or Steppenwolf Snyder?
Bro, Snyder. Whedon's looked fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was. I'm excited for them to try again and give me some Kirby designs though. Don't try to go like CGI at all the hell metal
Yeah, man. We need some fucking way more practical effects in superhero movies. It'll be way more grounded and pull you way more into the movie.
Do you think Whedon sabotaged this movie on purpose?
Justice League?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think WB is the main villain out of everything. That's my final.
Yeah. I think it's the higher ups at WB.
There's a video out that I was watching.
Didn't really try to save it, but
there's a video I watched called "Who Killed the DCEU," and it basically goes through was it Snyder, was it Whedon, was it Ezra, was it The Rock, was it was it James
WB.
Gunn? But it was WB is what killed its potential. James Gunn actually is the person that killed the DCU though, DCU. He's the actual. Yeah. He's the guy that pulled the trigger.
But happen with any director.
Listen,
I know.
When you have something on life support and it's in constant, unending, horrifying pain, and you flip the life support off, is that really murder? No, it's a mercy.
Yeah. So. One day we gotta do either a tier list or we gotta do something for the DC EU movies. Because yeah, it'd be an interesting thing, because I even like don't hate Suicide Squad all that much, I'll be honest, but like
The new one,
I
James Gunn's one.
no, the David Ayer one. Like
I don't either,
used to,
dude. I love the
but
characters. Some of the action
I
is fun.
do
Sorry.
see how WB tried to make that a Guardians of the Galaxy movie in its marketing, and it didn't, like, and they kind of stitched, like, they threw in those songs and all that, I think, to make it a Guardians movie, when that's not what David Ayer wanted. And that's why, like, the Ayer cut, wanting the Ayer cut is stupid, but if it comes out, I would not watch it. I'd be like, all right, I'll see what you wanted.
I would watch it for sure.
but
But I'm not clamoring for it. Even back then when it first came out, when it would have been even way cooler for it to clamor for it, I didn't really care to see it. But for that movie, I don't know. I forget how that got trampled to pieces. I forget.
Well,
what
it was
that movie.
It was the Zack Snyder. It was after Batman v Superman. Everyone was like, these movies are too dark. So then they were like, throw color in it, and throw, like, again, the video is called like Who Killed the DCEU, and it's like, I think it's an hour long, and they bring this up about how, like, they had to inject color into Suicide Squad to make it more like Guardians, right? And then it was like inject fun into Justice League, you know, and make it, and steer it away from being dark and gritty like Snyder's thing was. And a part of that you can put at the feet of Snyder to be like, hey, you know, this works for Batman, and that's it. Like, don't do it to anyone else. So
You probably could have done a cool Hellblazer or fucking
Constantine
Etrigan movie. Yeah, Constantine.
Petrigan, yeah, Justice League Dark.
Swamp Thing. Oh, dude, Snyder
Swamp
Justice
Thing.
League Dark would have been sick.
They were going to do it. Justice League Dark. J.J. Abrams was going to do it, and then they never got off the ground. And then
He was
they
supposed to do a Superman too.
like Constantine, right, from the TV show, Matt Ryan, right, great Constantine, the Constantine, added into the Arrowverse in the Arrow episode, right, comes back for Legends of Tomorrow, banger episode, awesome season, joins the Legends of Tomorrow full time, he's awesome, everything's great. And then they're like, we're gonna do a Justice League Dark TV show on HBO Max, remove Constantine from Legends of Tomorrow because people will get confused. We're also going to race swap him on this show, right? He's going to be a black guy because we've been wanting to do Black Constantine forever for some reason, right? Where, pray tell, is that Justice League Dark TV show? Oh, they canceled it because the reshuffle and the merger and the buyout and all that. So they took Constantine off of Legends for no reason. It's a bunch of bullcrap. Anyway, and then Preston asked at the end, did you guys remember to vote on his poll? You know, our friend Preston had a poll out earlier. I voted on it. He wants to know character, what to name his character in his book. See if I can pull it up. And you know, I have the good mind for these kind of things, and I was looking at him like I was literally looking at it like in a breakdown of like, okay, this would be this thing, right?
What are the names, or where's the?
I know
poll?
I'm getting it. I'm getting
We'll be
it.
right back.
We'll be right back. I'm trying to. Here it is.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad that happened. That didn't happen, Grumpy. I don't like J.J. Abrams at all.
Yeah, JJ. Yeah. So Preston says he's torn between three names for this character, so he's putting it to a vote. She's a young woman from a small Midwest farm town. Well, also Preston, right away, if you're watching, if you need anything about small Midwest farm towns, reach out and ask me. I was literally born and raised there my whole life. So small Midwest farm town who moved to Iron City with dreams of becoming an actress and singer. However, she has since become a homeless drug addict and sex worker. still holding on to her dreams. Our old
Sounds like my ex-wife.
own Preston is a little Zack Snyder here.
There's a
Hell
story
yeah, dude.
there.
So his options here,
I can
which
save her.
which I will throw into the chat as well. There you go. So go vote in his poll for what you want, because he has Nicole, who goes by Nikki, which is what I voted for, or Lydia, Melanie, or other. And if you could,
I
you
like
could probably
Melanie
pick your own.
for her.
Yeah, I kind of like Melanie too.
See, for me, it depends on what role she plays, but the Nikki having that kind of like young girl type name, right? That kind of innocent thing. And if someone's like, hey, it's Nikki, right? You have that kind of.
Well, that's why I
to her,
like
but-
Melanie, and it rhymes with felony.
There's that
She's
too.
a sex worker, drug addict now.
So, or Lydia,
No, Lydia, I think, has too much connotation with the Beetlejuice character.
I was gonna say Skyrim, but that's only because I can't make. Luckily, Cynic's not here for make fun of me, call me a boomer. If I make a Lydia the Tattooed Lady joke that no one's going to get. But,
Hold up, let me get a hold of it.
Nope, definitely don't get that.
that's Groucho Marx. But anyway, yeah. So go vote in his poll and pick what name you want for this character to be. And I think that is that's everything we have for tonight. We will save some of the other stuff for next week. Remember, if we at any point between now and Friday cross over 100 subs, then I will be back Friday night streaming Marvel Rivals. I hope to see you all, and I hope that everyone be on panel. It'll be an open panel, which means that even our friends, the Ringers, Ruby and One Gun will be invited as well.
Hell yeah.
And if anyone else wants to invite, let me know and I will throw them the link. Then we got nothing else really go on. I will have something Wicked related, suppose next week. Yeah. I guess just one last look for posterior posterity, and we'll
Well done.
so yeah. Thank you, Snowman. Thank you, Jesker.
No problem.
No problem, brother.
And, thank you, Grumpy and Preston and Swan and Stray Beans and Beefy and everyone else that showed up tonight, and
Yep,
everyone
thank you, guys.
everyone who's watching the replay. Remember, share the stream, watch some clips. Please get me to 100 subscribers. There'll be more content coming, and I'm going to play the outro.